Bears fans, to the Bear With Me Chicago Bears podcast #1, our first podcast. Its intent is to be a family-friendly, free podcast for members of your whole Bears family. This week we'll preview the last regular season big NFC North matchup at Soldier Field between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. The game is Sunday, January 4th at 3:25 Central on Fox. It's their America's Game of the Week, so that means their lead team of Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt will call the game. So what's at stake? The Bears are fighting for the #2 seed, which guarantees them one home game and perhaps a bit of revenge from their early season pounding by the Lions at Ford Field in Detroit. The Lions are playing for pride and trying to stay out of the basement of the NFC North. The Bears' record right now, they're 11-5. They're the 2025 NFC North champs, which they last won in 2018, but unfortunately they fell in the wild card round in heartbreaking fashion. But we won't go into that. We're looking forward. The Lions' record is 8-8. They've been eliminated from the playoffs after they won the North last year. The Bears are fighting for the #2 seed, as I said before. If they win against the Lions, or if the Eagles lose to the Commanders, the Bears will secure the #2 seed. This guarantees the Bears at least one home playoff game and likely a matchup against the Green Bay Packers, who are locked in at the 7th seed. If the Bears lose and fall to the 3 seed, assuming the Eagles win, they will host the 6th seed, which will be either the Rams or the 49ers. History of Bears versus Lions. So the all-time record, the Bears lead the series 105-81 with 5 ties. However, the most recent trend of the NFC Lions have won 6 of the last 7 games versus the Bears. So it would mean a lot to Ben Johnson, who previously coached there, to win this game. And the Bears are talking like they really are want everything that they can do to win this game. They're going to do it. And Detroit has also said they're going to play for pride, and they want to win too. Their coach, Dan Campbell, is a very proud man, and obviously they want to win. So that's what's at stake right now. Just a few offensive stats for the Bears. They're averaging 26.6 points per game, 6,000 total yards. Their quarterback, Caleb Williams, has almost 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 6 interceptions this year. He's also run 76 times for 387 yards and 3 touchdowns. They have an elite, what I would call an elite receiving core. And even though they don't have any 1,000-yard receivers yet, they have multiple receivers with more than 600 yards. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Koston Loveland, rookies. Luther Burden, another rookie. And then Cole Kmet, the longest tenure receiver at tight end for the Bears. So they've really put forth some great numbers this year, and they're really the strong point of the Bears' offense right now, along with the quarterback, Caleb Williams. From the running backs' perspective, they really have 2 primary running backs, DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Swift has gone over 1,000 yards this year. He's at 1,047. He's averaging 4.9 yards per carry. While Monangai, on more limited duty, has rushed for 769 yards. He's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. He has 5 touchdowns, while DeAndre has 9. DeAndre has 33 receptions, and Kyle has 17. And so Swift also has 1 receiving touchdown. So they have really good running backs as well. Their whole offense is in the top 5 in the National Football League. For Detroit, their offensive stats are pretty impressive as well. They're averaging 28.9 points per game. They've gone almost for 6,000 yards. Quarterback Jared Goff has 4,233 yards. He's already thrown for 33 touchdowns. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs has rushed over 1,000 yards. He's got 1,143 yards. He's averaging 5.1 yards per carry. He has 13 touchdowns. His longest run this year was 78 yards against Tampa Bay. He's considered a real game breaker, one of the fastest running backs in the NFL. On the receiving corps side, they have some strong talent there as well. Armand St. Brown, who is likely to play in this game. He's already a 1,200 yards receiver. He's got 106 receptions already. Jameson Williams has 1,043 yards, and he's averaging 17 yards a reception. So he's more of the game breaker, long pass option for them. Jahmyr Gibbs also has 89 targets this year from the running back position. He's got 583 yards receiving so far. So he's a dual threat in the backfield, running or catching the ball. From a defensive perspective, the Bears are allowing 23.6 points per game. The Lions are allowing 24.8 points per game. So the Lions defense is giving up just a few more, another point or so more than the Bears. The Bears, however, are allowing 348 yards per game, while the Lions are only at 335. Their rushing defense for the Bears is weaker than the Lions. They're allowing 131 yards per game on the ground, while the Lions are allowing 117. And on pass defense, the Bears and the Lions are almost identical. The Bears are at 217, while the Lions are at 218. However, the Bears have 32 turnovers this year, leading the NFL. The Bears only have 31 sacks this year, while the Lions have 48. Key players on defense for the Bears: Montez Sweat has 9.5 sacks, Tremaine Edmonds 95 tackles, Jawan Brisker has 77 tackles, and Kevin Byard has 6 interceptions. Hutchinson for Detroit has 13.5 sacks. He's the one that the Bears really need to pay attention to. And Alquad Muhammad has 11 sacks this year. So that's another dual threat there from the sack perspective. Pro Bowl linebacker this year, Jack Campbell, has 165 tackles. And Kerry Joseph had 3 interceptions for them, but he's now on injured reserve. Speaking of injuries, so the Bears injury report, and this is as of Saturday, Joe Tryon Shoyinka is out for the game. Rome Odunze is questionable. He was practicing yesterday. However, it may be wise to hold him out, so it'll be interesting if he plays. Jawan Brisker, safety, has been fighting an illness this week, so he's questionable. Nick McLeod, also fighting an illness, also questionable. And Ozzie Trapillo, this is one to really keep an eye on, the left tackle for the Bears. He's got a knee and quad issue, so he's also questionable. If they don't have Ozzie, that's going to be a real challenge to protect Caleb this week. Also, unfortunately, this week, Perry Sewell was put on injured reserve with a torn Achilles. For Detroit, they have got a laundry list of injuries this week. Already ruled out for the game, Alex Anzalone, Tryon Colon, Thomas Harper are all out. Aleem McNeil is out. Penny Sewell is likely out. And then, as I mentioned, Kirby Joseph and Sam Laporta are on IR. For questionable this week, I already mentioned Armand St. Brown is questionable, Taylor Deckler, Avante Maddox, and Giovanni Manu, Christian Mahogany, and Kayode Awasika are all questionable for this game. So they have 6 people that will just be a game-time decision for them. So they're really battling the injury bug. My pick. So who wins? The Bears are favored at home, from what I understand, by 3 points. I predict that the Bears defense bounces back after they struggled mightily against the 49ers last week. Cold weather may work in the Bears' favor as well, as Jared Goff is not known as being a real cold weather quarterback. He's also a bit immobile, and with their offensive line being weakened this week due to injury, hopefully the Bears can show a little bit more pass rush than they have in the last couple weeks. So my score prediction is the Bears 27, the Lions 21. So that's what we're hoping for. What's your pick? Post it in the comments, and any suggestions for future segments. This is our first segment, so we're really looking for encouraging and positive feedback as to how we can get better. Just one of the items that we do want to add to our podcast is a little bit of history between the two teams, because if you know the history, it makes the game a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. So if you have young Bear fans who really don't know about the greats of the past, this is our segment we'll do briefly each week. Depending on the team, we'll highlight a player from each team. For the Bears and the Lions, really the legendary running backs for each have to be highlighted. Walter Payton from the Bears, he played from 1975 to 1987. He had 16,726 yards, 110 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per carry over 13 seasons. And when he retired, he had actually eclipsed Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns by 4,000 yards, and he was the leading rusher in NFL history at that time, until it was eclipsed later by one of the Dallas Cowboys. Walter Payton was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1993, following his legendary career. And one of the greatest players, I encourage you to look at his highlights. That's all over YouTube. You'll see just what a great player he was for many, many years, even before the Bears were very competitive. There was a time when all the Bears had was Walter Payton. They didn't really have much of a passing attack, so defenses would load the box on him, try to stop him. and he was difficult to stop. Very powerful runner, very elusive, very strong, known for his incredible training regimen, and was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame due to that. He ended up winning a Super Bowl in 1985 with the Bears, so that was a nice cap off to his career, even though he played a couple more seasons. Barry Sanders for the Lions, one of the most elusive, fast, low, compact running backs. He retired after only 10 seasons in the NFL, 15,269 yards with 99 touchdowns, even though he only played 10 seasons, and he averaged 5 yards per carry. Barry entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2004 after an illustrious 10-season career with the Lions, and was one of the greatest running back, highlight film type running backs you're ever going to see in terms of making multiple people miss, speed to break it, along with power, very compact running back. And also, he was a good receiver as well when he caught the football. So very difficult to stop, as was Walter. So who between these two is the best running back? I'll leave it up to you. Bears fans are going to struggle to believe anybody could be better than Walter Payton, and Lions fans are going to feel the same about Barry Sanders. I watched them both play early in my NFL lifetime, and I just look forward to every game that they played, especially against each other, to see who could one-up. So a little Bears and Lions history there, and I would encourage you to check them out on YouTube. So just want to sign off from our first segment. Thank you for joining. We're starting our channel from scratch against the big channels, which have tens of thousands or 100,000 or more subscribers. But our goal is to produce quality, frequent, free, family-friendly content. So join with us. If you like it, please use your like button, subscribe, and comment, and catch our quick reaction after the game on Sunday. Thanks.